Welcome back. We are nearly done with the refactoring step. I've noticed that there's one more little refactoring I think that might be worthwhile for us to do. Things are looking really good now. We've got our items collection initialized to an empty list of shopping cart items. We've got our total. Total is only calculated for a single item, and then it's that item subtotal, which, as we now know from our previous refactoring, is the quantity multiplied by the product's unit price. We've got an items count property exposed as well to any clients. However, I think within the add here, there is a bit more that we can take and move from the shopping cart into another object. And I believe that we can do that with this validation. Yes, the validation is specific to adding. However, I think we can agree that it will need to be valid for any kind of shopping cart item that we create. So would we not be able to say, hey, why don't we move this validation where we check for a product and where we check that the quantity is greater than 0? Can we not move this validation into another place, into another class, into another object? I believe the class to be the shopping cart item, specifically this constructor here. It would be really good that whenever we create a shopping cart item, it would carry out this validation check where it checks that the product exists and the quantity is 1 or greater. Wouldn't that be cool? It means that our shopping cart could slim down even further, and we're delegating this responsibility away to another object. Cool, let's have a look at shopping cart item. Shopping cart item takes product and quantity. These are exactly the two properties that we're interested in. We've got a couple of parameters there, so let me go back to shopping cart. Here we go. We've got product and quantity being passed into us, and this is exactly what we're handing off to the shopping cart item when it is created and then added into the items collection. Why don't we just try it out? We don't even need to be particularly careful here and check that everything is just as we expect it to, because we can rely on our test suite. We've written all these tests that verify that if we make a mistake, there will be a red flag. One of the tests will fail. So I'm just going to cut that out of here. And just for interest's sake, if I was to run the unit test now, we should get some of them failing. Yeah, a couple of tests are failing. Given no product, when call add, then throw missing product exception. And given quantity is invalid, when call add, then throw invalid quantity exception as well. And that would be the one where we've got a 0. So I'm going to move over to shopping cart item. Before we make the assignment to our product or quantity, we're going to do this validation. By the time we assign, we're basically saying, hey, this is okay. This is okay for us to have a state in our shopping cart item. And really at this stage, it's not okay yet. All right, we've got a problem here. Maybe just a namespace thing. Okay, fantastic. That looks really good. I'm just going to run tests again. All 11 tests are passing. This means that it was okay to slim our definition of the shopping cart even further and delegate this validation on whether or not we can create a shopping cart item, a valid shopping cart item, and then add it into the cart. We can delegate that validation and give it to the shopping cart item itself. All right. I think this looks pretty good. Maybe one thing we could do further is we could move the shopping cart item, the creation of it, onto its own line. I might just quickly do that. Maybe do something like new item. This is the item that we're going to add. All right, and then new item. We're creating the shopping cart item, then we're adding it into the items collection. Okay, just a little bit clearer, splitting it into a couple of lines, but that wasn't necessary. Alright, run all the tests again. Excellent, they're all still passing and we're looking really good. The product is looking great. Shopping cart item is looking good. Maybe we could extract what we've got here into a validate method, but I'm going to leave that for now. So shopping cart item is looking like a real domain entity. It's got some very specific logic to it, which is great. And our class shopping cart looks great as well. We've got some behavior in here, but it's relatively little. We have managed to delegate a lot of the behavior that we used to have inside shopping cart, like the validation on adding a product and a quantity into other classes like shopping cart item and product. And those classes are better suited to having that kind of behavior in any case. All right, what about the tests? Our tests are looking great as well. They are arranged in an order from really simple to more and more complicated, where we're now at the point of adding a quantity of products into our cart. And now it's time for us to move on and add 2 or more products into our shopping cart. And we'll do that in the next video. See you shortly.